Hey everybody, welcome back to the Love Dogs channel. This long-awaited video is about the leashes and collars that I use with my two big dogs while backpacking and pretty much in everyday use. So I used to use leashes that had a bolt snap attachment to it, and once when we were out snowshoeing in Colorado, that bolt snap actually got jammed with snow and ice and came disconnected from Jaffe's collar. And for those of you who don't know, Jaffe is dog reactive. And so when that happened, it kind of made me think twice about using a leash with a bolt snap again. I really decided that I needed something that was more reliable and that would not fail us. Given Jaffe's dog reactivity, it's really important to me that our tools actually function properly and that I can trust them 100% in any situation. That's where Ray Allen Manufacturing comes in. I've been using Ram's gear now for over 5 years, and I've been really happy with it. It has never once malfunctioned or let me down in any way. On top of that, it's very versatile, and when we're out backpacking, that is definitely a plus. Honestly, I just never know what might happen on trail, and so the functionality of these nylon service dog leashes really comes in handy. First off, you'll notice that the hardware is different. This is really heavy-duty, very durable hardware. Yes, it's heavier, but this is something that I've come to terms with over the years. Better quality is going to be heavier, and the weight penalty is worth it to keep my dogs safe on trail. So on one end of this leash we have the Kong frog clip here, and I'll demonstrate how these work later. On the other end of the leash is a black diamond load-bearing locking carabiner. You can use these a number of ways to attach to a variety of things, but how I usually use them on trail is I wrap the leash around my waist and fasten it with the carabiner in the appropriate loop, and then I connect the frog clip to the dog's collars. A couple of inches up from the frog clip, you'll see this rotating swivel hardware, and most leashes have this nowadays, but this is a really nice feature. It just allows the leash to rotate so that the dogs don't get tangled up as they move around me and around each other. So one of my favorite features of these leashes is that they are bar tacked all the way the full length of the leash, which is 7 feet. That creates these little loops here, which means that you can wrap this around your waist and then clip the carabiner in one of these loops and wear this leash hands-free, or you can fasten this around a tree or another object when you need to tie your dog up and be hands-free for any reason. Sometimes I've used this to tie the dogs around a tree when I'm setting up my tent at camp. There's also a way with the harnesses made by Ray Allen. You can actually connect this leash to the harnesses and create a way to carry your dogs out if they're injured on trail. So just up from the swivel hardware is actually a rope that is sewn in to create a handle, like a traffic handle. These handles are so comfortable and they're really strong as well. I love being able to have more control over my dogs when I need to pull them in close. If we're passing another dog on the trail or other people on the trail, I can bring them in close to me and hang on to these handles. Again, I've had these leashes for over 5 years and there's not a single stitch that has come undone. These leashes are really high quality, made to last, made to handle big dogs and be really functional in a variety of scenarios. When I'm out on the trail with these leashes, I really feel like I can do just about anything I would need to with them. They're so flexible. So let's go back to the hardware for a moment. We'll start with the locking carabiner. As I mentioned, this is a black diamond screw gate locking carabiner. It's rated at 8 kilonewtons, which is equal to about 1,800 force pounds. Now obviously I'm not going to be doing anything too crazy out on the trail with these things, but it is nice to have that peace of mind knowing that this carabiner is load rated, so if I do need to lift and carry the dogs at all, this hardware can handle it. Basically you just screw this part down over the gate so that it won't open. When you want to open it, you unscrew it to release the gate. On the other end of the leash, we have a Kong frog clip. This is rated at 25 kilonewtons, which is roughly 5,400 force pounds. This is similar to the Cobra buckles in that you have to press both tabs down for this to disengage. So you have a right tab. If you pull it down on its own, it does not disengage. And you have a left tab. If you pull down on its own, it does not disengage. If you pull both tabs down at the same time, then and only then will it disengage. Now the cool thing about this is that if you are attaching it to the D-ring on a collar, for example, the minute that D-ring hits the tongue on the frog clip automatically engages on it. So this is a really fast method of leashing the dogs, and I love it. This is one of the reasons why I love this leash. All you have to do is approach the dog, put the clip on to the D-ring, and it automatically engages and your dog is leashed. It's a very fast and reliable way to leash the dogs. And you'll see here again, if you press only one tab, it does not disengage. You have to press both tabs at the same time in order to disengage. So next up are the collars that I use with my dogs, and these are also made by Ray Allen Manufacturing. You'll notice that these have the Cobra style buckles, which, similar to the other hardware I've talked about, won't disengage without pressing both tabs at the same time. Now on the inside of these collars there is a strip of Velcro here, and this is for the dog's e-collars. So they make a collar like this that does not have the strap for the e-collars. Those are just called the Evolution collars, I think. And I did have those before I bought these, but I prefer these because the dogs can wear one less collar. It means that I can put their e-collar device in these, and these are called the Elusive 2.0 collars. So again, you'll see that if you press only one side of the tab down, it does not disengage. You have to press both tabs at the same time to disengage the buckle. Now this thing right here is actually something I bought off of Etsy. It's not faring quite as well as the Ray Allen stuff, but it's still functional. Just have some threads coming out there. But this is an AirTag holder. So both of my dogs have one of these snapped around their collars, and there is an AirTag in each one. You know, these AirTags, you can't guarantee that they would work really, but you know, if the dogs got lost in a well-populated area, they would work. I just figured what the heck. I actually got one of the AirTags for Christmas, and I purchased the other one just in case. One of the selling features of this collar for me is the handle. I use that handle so often, especially when the dogs are off leash. And for example, sometimes when I'm out in the country, the dogs are off leash and maybe a car might come up, and I can call the dogs to me and just hang on to the handle in the collar until the car passes, and then I can let them free again. It's just nice to have that quick option to keep the dogs close to me when I need it. So I'll show you how the e-collar device goes on here. You just pull this Velcro strap up, thread the Velcro strap through the device like that, and then you curl it with it so that it, you know, lays even on the collar and lays even against the dog's neck. That's how you put the e-collar device in there. And so I love these Elusive collars. There's a Velcro strap that actually covers the hardware there. It kind of makes it difficult to disengage sometimes because that Velcro has a tendency to catch. But I love this option to remove or to add the e-collar on there. So when the dogs are just at home with me, if they're not going to be off leash at all, then I can remove that. But if they're going to be off leash at all, then I can thread that e-collar device on there and have it. The point of having Velcro all the way around on these collars is so that you can put patches on there, and I have their name and our telephone number on the patch that's under the handle. And then I've ordered just recently some new patches from a woman in Canada that makes them, does a really nice job, so I'm waiting to receive those and I'll put those on here. The last thing that I haven't talked about is the metal V-ring here on the collars. There's not really anything particularly fancy about it. The one thing I do like about it is that it is sewn in next to the handle, so the V-ring actually stays at the top of the dog instead of sliding down under the neck. It makes it a lot easier to attach a leash to. The Cobra buckles are actual Austrialpin Cobra buckles. They aren't knockoffs. The width of these collars is 1.75 inches, but you can actually get them to fit two different sizes of Ecollar receiver. You can get a 3/4 inch or a 1 inch Velcro strap to fit the Ecollar receiver. You can also get this collar without a handle if you prefer. And now I'll just call my lovely model Miss Hazel over here to demonstrate how easy it is to remove and reattach this collar. That pretty much is a good summary of the leashes and collars that I use with my dogs. I love this gear. I know this sounds a bit like an advertisement, but I promise you I was not given any of this gear for free. I am not sponsored by Ray Allen, and the most I can do is offer you a referral link to get you a discount if you're interested in picking up any of this gear yourself. However, I did pay for these with my own money, and I would absolutely do it again, although I don't think I'm ever gonna have to buy another leash or collar for my dogs. When you look at the price, just know that it's highly possible that this is gonna be the only leash and collar you will have to buy. Real nice. So I was talking about these leashes. This is how I typically wear them. I fasten it around my waist and then I clip that frog clip to the carabiner. And I can actually wear both of them. I'm only wearing one right now. So then if a car was coming or something, for example, I would call them to me. Babies, come! Try to get this on video. Good babies. Just like that. It happens faster in real time, but I'm trying to watch in the video to make sure I'm getting it in the frame and do it at the same time. So, and then to unleash it, it's just as quick. You go like this, and he's free. And then I clip it back on this thing, which also is quicker when I'm not trying to video it. There we go. Very pretty. Okay. Heads in.